The Hong Kong government has condemned groups of what it calls radical protesters after more clashes with police. On Sunday, demonstrators vandalized subway stations and set fires in the street. Earlier, tens of thousands marched to the U.S. consulate to appeal for help in their bid for democracy. Well, joining us now is Carrie Lam, Bloomberg's China government editor. Karen, I guess after Carrie Lam actually last week said that she would pull the extradition bill, where does it leave us? So we have protests that are becoming more violent. Does China intervene, or does it wait to see what the situation takes?
Well, we were waiting to see what was going to happen over the weekend. This was the first round of protests since Carrie Lam made the biggest concession she's made to protesters since this all began earlier this summer by withdrawing the extradition bill that triggered all of this. And what we saw was tens of thousands of people marching peacefully through Central City to the U.S. consulate to appeal for help from President Donald Trump. But shortly after, it devolved into something that's become quite normal for us, small clashes that popped up through the city, protesters setting fire to things, riot police running through central metro stations. And this, to some people, signaled that her concession hadn't been enough to ward this off.
Karen, I found extraordinary the images of American flags through the street. How are images of American flags through the street taken by the people of Hong Kong, by the business community, and by this government under siege?
You know, it was interesting. We haven't seen that many of them in protests so far. We've seen them here and there, but this was the first really concerted effort that I can recall where they've marched to our consulate with the specific intent of trying to reach out to President Trump and reach out to the U.S. government and really keep this in the spotlight. And it was quite a statement. And, you know, the images reverberated quite widely here. This is something that people were watching more closely than they have in recent weeks because they wanted to see just how much protesters would react to the move by Carrie Lam. But people here saying that they're going to continue protesting until she's met all of their demands. And this was just one. So we're looking ahead now to the next couple of weeks to see how big things will continue to be.